another video. So in this video lesson, I am going to discuss with you learning outcome number 3, plate, present, meat, dishes. So along with this are the most essential learning competencies. First, present meat dishes aesthetically based on classical and cultural standards. Second, select suitable plate according to standards in serving meat dishes. And the last one is present meat dishes hygienically and sequentially within the required time frame. So before we start our discussion, I want you to do this activity. So let me know what comes in mind when you hear the word plating and presenting meat dishes. So think of words associated with the word plating and presenting meat dishes. Okay, so let's start our discussion with the basic principles of platter presentation. Okay, so platter presentation, your presentation must have 3 elements. So what are those? First is the centerpiece. The centerpiece may be an uncut portion of the main food item, just like what you see in the picture. The second one is the slices or serving portion of the main food item arranged artistically. And then the last one is the garnish, arranged artistically in proportion to the cut slices. So the 3 basic elements of platter presentation are centerpiece, slices or serving portion of the main food item, and then the last one is the garnish or the garnishes. Okay, the second one is, aside from the elements, the 3 elements, the second one is the food should be easy to handle and serve, so one portion can be removed without ruining the arrangement. Okay, so what do you mean by this? So your food must be easy to handle. Ibig sabihin ay kahit nabawasan na yung iserve na pagkain ay maganda pa rin yung presentation. Third, simple arrangement are easier to serve and more likely to be still attractive when they are half demolished by the guest. Okay. Number 4, attractive platter are made of metals, mirrors, china, plastic or woods, presentable and suitable for use with food. Okay, so yung mga plato o yung mga pinggan na ating inigagamit sa paghahain are made of metals, mirrors, china, plastic, or wood. Sometimes it depends upon the occasion and the venue. Okay, number 5, it must look attractive and appropriate not only by itself, but among other presentations on the table. So the food item must go along with the other food presented on the table. Okay, so how to present food on a plate? How to present food on a plate? So what are your goals in presenting the food on the plate? Okay, so the goal is to create a dining experience that tempts all the senses, not just the palate. Okay, to create a dining experience that tempts all of the senses. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang yung panlasa, kundi lahat ng senses ng ating katawan, ating mata, ng ilong, ng ating panlasa. Okay, sabi nga, sa tingin pa lang, masarap na. Sa amoy pa lang, amoy masarap. So, start with brightly colored, well-cooked food. Brightly colored and well-cooked food. And then, layer the food and play with contrasting colors and texture to increase its visual appeal. Finally, garnish the plate with flavorful herbs or spice to take it to the next level. So what does it mean? Okay, you are going to present, your goal is to create a dining experience that tempts all the senses. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang siya masarap, kundi amoy masarap, mukhang masarap, pag tinikman, masarap. And then, start with brightly colored and well-cooked food. Brightly colored. So, paano natin ma-attain yung brightly colored o yung mga patitingkad na kulay? Specifically, kapag mayroong gulay na ihahain. So, we are going to discuss further later. And then, you are going to layer the food and play with contrasting color. Contrasting color and texture to increase its visual appeal. Okay, so iwasan natin yung isang kulay lang, dalawang kulay lang. And then finally, garnish the plate with the flavorful herbs or spice to take it to the next level. Okay, so maglalagay tayo ng garnishes. So, anong sabi ko pag maglalagay ng garnishes? Dapat ay all the garnishes must be edible. Yes, very good. Okay, so starting with beautiful food. Paano natin mapapaganda ang ating pagkain? Number 1 is avoid a monochromatic color scheme. Monochromatic color. What does it mean? In MAPE, when we say monochromatic, or in English, it is an adjective. Monochromatic means it contains only one color. Kaya nga monochromatic, single color food. A plate of food looks most appealing when there's a high level of contrast in color. Yan, lalagyan natin ng contrasting color para mas maganda yung ating ihahain. So, the first one is avoid a monochromatic color scheme. When you're planning meals, think ahead about the colors you want to feature on the plate. You might not be able to represent all the colors of the rainbow at every meal, but challenge yourself to have as much color as possible. Yan, hindi naman sinabi sa guidelines na gawin ninyong rainbow collection, yung ating plato, na mag-isip tayo ng iba't ibang kulay, pero isipin natin yung endpoint. Ano ba, i-visualize natin yung magiging endpoint, ano ba yung magiging itsura ng ating presentation kapag siya ay atin ang inihanda. So, you have to challenge yourself to make your plate presentable. If you're about to serve several light-colored foods like grilled chicken and mashed potatoes, adding a serving of fruits and vegetables is fantastic and easy way to add pops of color. The richest green, oranges, red, purples, blues, pinks, and yellows on your plate probably take the form of fruit and vegetables. Okay, kung ang ihahain natin ay yung mga pagkain na magkakakulay. Magkakakulay. Halimbawa, beef steak. Tayo sa Pilipinas, sa Infanta in the Philippines, we eat beef steak, bopis, sabi nga sa ibang wika ay kandinga. Dito sa atin ay kandinga, sa Manila o sa ibang lugar, ang tawag nila ay bopis, yan. Ano pa magkakakulay, batchoy, yan. Para mas mabuhay natin o maglagyan natin ng buhay ang presentation, maglalagay tayo ng mga prutas at gulay sa ating lamesa para mas maganda ang presentation. If you're not sure how to add color, utilize garnishes. Nearly any savory dish is well prepared by a sprinkling of fresh chives, parsley, dill, or mint. Lemon and lime wedges are welcome alongside poultry and seafood dishes. Okay, kung mga wala namang prutas, pwede tayong maglagay ng mga sangkap o mag-sprinkle ng mga spices and herbs sa ating inihandang pagkain. Ang common ginagamit natin sa bahay ay kadalasang ginagamit nating garnishes ay yung mga hiniwang coarsely chopped or finely chopped onion, tomato. Doon sa ibabaw ng beef steak, nilalagyan natin ng onion rings. Tapos sa mga inihaw, nilalagyan natin ng kamatis, pipino. Yan, para mas maganda yung presentation ng mga dull-colored food. Okay, second is bring out vegetable brightest color. Bring out vegetables brightest color. The way you cook your vegetables has a lot of bearing on the overall visual effect of a meal. Lightly steam instead of boiling. Steaming vegetables make them look appetizing and flavorful, while boiling creates the opposite effect. Roast or saute them with a little oil or butter. Roasted or sauteed vegetables look quite appetizing when they are allowed to caramelize a little in oil or butter. Okay, so paano natin mapapaganda ang kulay ng gulay? Paanong paraan? Okay, yung una ay lightly steam. Lightly steam instead of boiling. Kasi pag boiling kadalasan nagiging overcook. Kaya kailangan half cook ang gulay. O di kaya ay roast or saute them with little oil o gigisa. O pwede rin yung tinatawag nating blanching. Ano yung blanching? It is a moist heat method in which vegetables are being scalded on hot water or boiling water or immersing in a boiling water for a little period of time, and then submerge them in a cold water to make them look brighter and crispier. Yes. Okay, there are exceptions to the rule of searing your meat. For example, if you're serving braised beef, have to think of creative way to make the meat look appetizing even though it doesn't have a crispy crust. Yan, seared meat. Lalagyan natin sa ibabaw nung what can you see in the picture? So they are finely chopped lady finger, ano ba ito? Siling haba. And then merong kamatis. Yan. Yung mga nakikita ninyo, may mga particles ng onion. Okay, serving it with a sauce is a good way to add visual interest. Okay, aside from garnishing, pwede rin natin i-serve sila with sauces. Cook fried foods carefully. Underdone or overcooked fried foods are difficult to present in an appealing way. Fried foods can look beautiful on a plate, but it's important to fry them well and have a plan to dealing with the oil so it doesn't muck up the rest of the dish. Cook fried foods until they're golden brown, then let them drain on a plate lined with paper towel to absorb the extra oil. Fried foods often continue browning a bit after they've been removed from hot oil. So what is the ideal color of fried food? Yes, golden brown. And how will you manage not to underdone or overcook fried food? Okay, so titingnan ninyo yung temperature o yung init ng inyong gas range. Kapag ito'y underdone, yung prito, pag inyong makikita ninyo kapag malakas ang apoy na ginamit ang heat, temperature, luto sa labas, pero pag iniwa mo, ay bloody pa yung loob or madugo pa yung loob. Kapag ito naman ay na-overcook, ay sabi nga ay, it's shrink at saka it becomes tough. Nagiging maganit at mahirap hiwain ang karne. And then another challenge of presenting food, fried food, ay yung oil, yung mga excess oil. So what will you do with the excess oil? Not on the food, fried food. So you are going to use, yes, paper towel or kitchen towel to absorb the extra oil. Okay, another one is take texture into account. Texture and color go hand in hand when it comes to how appetizing food looks on the plate. If your food looks too oily, too dry, mushy, tough, or otherwise difficult to chew and swallow, it won't matter how perfectly colorful it looks. The way you handle the food just after it has been cooked and before it is plated can really affect the texture. Okay, yung sabi nga natin ay maganit. Kapag hilaw ang pagkain, minadali ang pagluluto, tinikman natin ang karne, maganit. Kapag naman ito ay sa ibang salita sa salitang maganit, yan, makunat. Okay. So, ibang salita naman kapag ito medyo napasobra yung pagkaluto. Sabi nga natin ay lambot. O di kaya sa atin ay labsak. Diba? Salitang infanta, labsak. Yan. It's difficult to chew and swallow kapag ito ay maganit. Kapag ito naman ay ito ay undercooked, kapag ito naman ay overcooked, ay sabi nga natin ay labsak, ay naghihiwa-hiwalay na yung himay-himay. So, mahirap na yung presentation ng pagkain. So, you have to take the texture into account. Once the food is on the plate, a spritz of oil or water can improve visual appeal. If it looks too dry, experiment with interesting shapes. Okay, prito. Mahirap ihain ng basta prito. So, maglalagay tayo ng garnishes, o pwede natin siyang lagyan ng butter o di kaya oil para ito ay maging maganda ang presentation. And then cutting vegetable in interesting shapes can make the simple become special. Vegetables in interesting shapes. You can cook and serve vegetable, desserts, pot pies, and other food inside unique shape dishes to create attractive shapes. So, makakalagdag din ng appeal yung paglalagay natin ng mga shapes unique shapes ng hiwa ng gulay. Yan. Another one is plating with care. Plating with care. When in doubt, choose white plates. White plates don't compete visually with the food you're serving. They provide contrast, making colors appear brighter and texture more interesting. Okay, kung ang ipipresentin nyo ay light color, dark colors, yung mga dark colors na mga pagkain, mas mainam gumamit ng white plate. Pero kung ang atin namang ipipresent ay yung may mga white sauce, o mapuputi, gumamit tayo ng contrasting color. Pwede ang red plate, yung mga brown plate, yung ibang kulay ng plato. Sabi nga ay contrasting color. But kadalasang ginagamit natin sa culinary ay white plates with variety of shapes, just like what you see in the presentation. Okay, don't forget to take the rest of the table into consideration. Cutlery, glasses, and linens will enhance the overall appearance of the dish upon the table. So, hindi lang basta yung food item ang ating iisipin pag tayo magpe-present. Kinakailangan din natin i-prepare yung lamesa, yung table, yung cutlery, yung glasses, yung linens na ating gagamitin that will enhance the overall appearance of the dish upon the table. Okay, another one is visualize the finished plate. Visualize the finished plate. Sabi ko kanina, isipin nyo agad ano yung magiging end point ng inyong presentation. Kunyari, mag-hold kayo ng festive or ng isang occasion. Mag-iisip siyempre kayo ng mga menu, mga entree or main course na inyong ipe-present. Isipin nyo rin yung kulay. Siyempre, ito ba ay lahat ay kulay itim? Ang ihahanda mo ba ay lipstick, adobo, ano pang maiitim? Pusit, bopis, yan. Mag-iisip kayo ng mga kulay. Siyempre, pwede ka maglagay ng chicken curry, pininyahang manok, Hawaiian chicken, honey lemon chicken, at iba pa. Yan. Visualize the finished plate. Consider how to present the main portion in relation to the side dishes. Consider it will look best on the plate with the other element of the dish. So, yung pipiliin mo dapat suited for the occasion. And suited, it goes along with the other food item on the table. Only fill about 2/3 of each plate with food. The rest of the plate should be left empty. The negative space will provide contrast with the food, making it look more appetizing. As a general rule, half of the food on the plate should comprise of vegetables, 1/4 meat or another protein, and 1/4 starch. Sabi ko nga, in our previous discussion, only 2/3 of the plate should be filled with food. Yan, 2/3 lang. Huwag niyong pupunuin. Hindi kagaya doon sa mga buffet na eat all you can, na halos ay hindi mo na maintindihan yung food presentation sa plate. Lahat ay kinuha na. Okay, as a general rule, half of the food on the plate should be comprised of vegetables, 1/4 protein, and 1/4 starch. Kagaya ng presentation natin sa Pinggang Pinoy. Yan, sa Pinggang Pinoy, ang kalahati ng food item ay gulay. And then at 11 o'clock, you have the starch. And then at 6 o'clock, you have the protein. Okay, start plating. Magpe-plating na tayo. Start plating food in the center of the dish and work outward from there so that the food is centered in the middle of the plate, and then follow the rule of adds. You are going to start at the center of the dish. Kadalasan ang nilalagay natin sa gitna ay yung main item. Having an odd number of elements on a dish is more visually appealing than having an even number. It creates the impression that piece of food is being framed by the others. Okay, kapag magpe-present ka ng pagkain and then yung food item ay countables. Yan, nabibilang. Kagaya ng meatballs, lumpia, lumpiang Shanghai, ano pa, fried chicken, yan. Pag magpe-present ng pagkain, mas maganda na ito ay pe-present mo in an odd number. Just like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. Kaysa sa even number, which composed of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. So, mas presentable o mas maganda ang presentation kapag ito ay present mo in an odd number. And then another one is plate with different textures. Creating a texture contrast is a good way to draw the eye. Too many soft or crunchy food on a plate are unappealing, but a combination of both is delicious. Mayroong crunchy at mayroong soft. So, soft and crunchy food. The combination of soft and crunchy food is more appealing than serving all crunchy and serving all soft food. And then, to quickly add some crunch to a dish, try topping it with some crushed roasted walnuts and almonds, layer foods to add height. It's common to see food layering in restaurants, but home cooks don't usually try it. Adding height to a dish can take it from ordinary to stunning. Don't be afraid to show off your culinary skills by using stacking and layering method to make your presentation more professional. Okay, so you are going to utilize height. Adding height on the plate. Yan, mas magandang tingnan kapag pinapataas natin yung pagkain, but not to the point na kapag ginalaw mo naman ay mabubuho na. An easy way to start layering food is to serve the protein on the bed of starch. For example, serve a kabub on a heap of rice or rice grilled swordfish on a pile of mashed potato. So, dapat kapag tayo magle-layer, syempre, ang lalagay mo sa ilalim ay yung mas malaking food item para may mag-hold nung height. Okay, aim to make food look bigger, not smaller. Lap up your salads, for example. Instead of smacking them down, create a little cross-hatch stock of cooked asparagus instead of presenting it in one flat layer. Okay, so you are going to create, to make your food item look bigger, you have to plop up your food item. So, papalakihin mo para mas magandang tingnan. Kaya nga, you have to use heights, add heights to your plate presentation para magmukhang malaki yung iyong pre-present. Patayo yung paglalagay. O nakasalansan. Sabi nga sa Tagalog ay nakasalansan. Sasalansan mo ng maayos kaysa sa pahiga. Yan. Another one is use sauce wisely. If you're serving a curry, stew, or soapy casserole, you might want to drain the food of its sauce before serving. Then pour on just the right amount when you plate the dish. That way, you can control the amount of sauce and it used to make the dish look decorative. Keep up with food styling trends. Kapag gagamit naman kayo ng sauce, make sure yung ilalagay nating sauce ay sakto laang dun sa ating ipinipresent na pagkain. Isa pong nagagawa ng sauce, it adds decor o nakakapagdagdag ng use for decorative purposes. Yan. Number 7, adding appetizing touches. Adding appetizing touches. Paano natin siya gagawin? You are going to use garnishes that enhance the flavor of the meat or the meal. No matter what you're serving, make sure the garnish actually make the dish better instead of just cluttering up the plate. So, wag lalagay tayo ng garnishes. Siguraduhin natin it complement with the food item that you are going to present. Yan. Hindi yung may mailagay lang. Kinakailangan it will goes along with the food item that you prepared. Another is employ drizzles and swirls, just like what you see in the picture. So another way to finish food is with a drizzle or swirl of a concentrated sauce or liquid. For savory dishes, this might be a small squeeze of remoulade, pesto, or flavored oil. For sweet dishes, adding chocolate sauce, fruit jam, or cream anglaise might be the most delicious way to add that finishing touch. Okay, employ drizzles and swirl to make them look more presentable. Okay, another is rather than just pouring a sauce over your food, consider putting it in a squeeze bottle so you can create a pretty swirl or pattern. If you don't have a squeeze bottle, put the sauce in a plastic food storage bag, cut a small piece off one of the corners, and squeeze the sauce through the bag. Okay, so kung para mas magpaganda natin yung swirl and drizzles, gagamit tayo ng squeeze bottle. Pero kapag wala tayong squeeze bottle sa bahay, pwede tayong gumamit ng plastic storage bag and then cut it on one corner and then start doing your drizzle pattern or squeezing pattern. And another is don't overdo it. The key is to add a touch of color, flavor, and texture without overpowering the main part of the dish. Make sure the plate is clean. Yan. Kapag tayo naglalagay ng drizzles and swirls, siguraduhin natin magiging malinis yung rim of the plate pagkatapos nating mag-employ ng drizzles and swirl. And then, another is don't overdo it. Huwag naman sobrang dami na halos natakpan na yung food item na puno na ng sauces. And then another one is examine the edges of the plate for fingerprints and smudges. A great way to clean up the edges of the plate is to dip a paper towel in a cup of water with a dash of white vinegar. Wipe the rim of the plate so no food residue or prints are visible. This gives your presentation a professional touch. Okay, so kung gagamit tayo ng wet paper towel and we are going to clean the outside rim of the plate to make your presentation clean. Okay, let us discuss now the basic elements of plating. The basic elements of plating, first is create a framework. Create a framework. Start with drawings and sketches to visualize the plate. Find inspiration from a picture object. Assemble a practice plate to work on executing your vision. Okay, so halimbawa, magagawa ka ng presentation bukas. Ngayon pa lang, niisip mo na, ano bang mag-iitsura ng aking presentation? Kapag ito ay nilagay ko dito, inilagay ko dyan. So, pwede tayong mag-search through Google, Internet, kung ano yung magandang itsura ng ating presentation. And then another one is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Select one ingredient to focus on and use space to simplify the presentation. Clutter distracts from the main elements of your dish that may confuse the diner on what to focus. Sabi nga, keep it simple. Meron tayong main ingredients. So, dapat konti lang ilalagay natin garnishes and then hindi siya magiging mukhang makalat. And then another one is balance the dish. Number 3, balance the dish. Play with colors, shapes, and textures to ensure diners are not overwhelmed. The presentation should never overpower flavor and function. Balance the dish. Play with colors, shapes, and textures. And number 4 is get the right portion size. Get the right portion size. Ensure that there is a right amount of ingredients and the plate complements the dish. The plate complements the dish. The use of white plate, sabi ko nga, and colored plate. Not too big or too small. Huwag masyadong malaki yung plate, huwag masyadong rin maliit. And then, strike the right proportion of protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables to create a nutritionally balanced meal. The right portion size. Start with your plate. Not too small and not too big. And then the right proportion of protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables. Sabi ko nga, 2/3 of the plate is filled with food. Only 2/3 of the plate is filled with food. Half of it is composed of vegetables. 1/4 is composed of a starch. And another 1/4 is composed of protein. Okay, the last one is highlight the key ingredients. Highlight the key ingredients. Ensure the main ingredients stand out and play equal attention. So, be careful with the selection of your garnishes and other side dishes. The main item should be the focus of attention. That is number 5, highlight the key ingredients. Okay, do you have questions? May natutunan ba on how to plate or present meat dishes? Okay. Let me see. So, reflect on what you've learned. Reflect on what you've learned in a clean sheet of pad paper. Additional points will be given to you. So, okay. So, first, the situation is, suppose that you will be holding or catering a festive occasion. How will you apply the basic elements of plating and principles of plating presentation? I'll repeat. Suppose that you will be holding, catering a festive occasion. How will you be able to apply the basic elements of plating and principles of plating presentation? Start your proposal with a list of entree or main course that you are going to prepare. So, first thing that you are going to do is you are going to think of a particular occasion. And then, another is you are going to write down list of entree or main course that you are going to prepare. Particularly meat, main course. You may add other just like vegetable dishes and seafood dishes. It's all right. Another one is selected venue suited for the occasion or festivity. You're going to select venue in your locality that is suited for the occasion or festivity. And then you are going to determine your number of guests. And then the last one is make an appropriate estimate of the food item that you are going to present. Okay, I'll repeat. So for your activity, this will be recorded under your performance task. Suppose that you will be holding or catering a festive occasion. How will you able to apply the basic elements of plating and principles of plating presentation. Start your proposal with identify first your occasion, and then second, a list of entree or the main course that you are going to prepare or you are going to present. And then write down your selected venue in your locality suited for the occasion or festivity. And then determine your number of guests. And then make an appropriate estimate on the food item that you are going to present. So, lalagay na diyan yung ating paggamit ng standard and quantified recipe. Search nyo sa Google, ano ba yung standard and quantified recipe and how will you able to do them? Okay. Okay, for your evaluation or assessment, you may write them in a clean sheet of pad paper. Or if you have your activity sheets with you, you may write your answer in your activity sheet. So, activity 1 is multiple choice. Select the best answer. Write only the letter on your answer sheet. Okay. In a platter presentation, uncut portion of the main food item is called. In a platter presentation, uncut portion of the main food item is called centerpiece, garnish, or serving portion. Second, it is arranged artistically in proportion to the cut slices. Arrange artistically in proportion to the cut slices. Garnish, serving portion, slices. Number 3, the food should be easy to handle and A. Arrangement. B. Garnish. C. Serve. A. Arrangement, garnish, and then serve. Number 4, use attractive platter presentation made of metals, mirrors, plastic or woods, and china, pan, and platter. Number 5, the act of serving or arranging portion of the main food item artistically is called garnishing, setting, or slicing. Okay, for your activity 2, identify the basic elements of plating. Then select your answer from the box and write it in the blank. Okay, the choices are: create a framework, get the right portion size, keep it simple, highlight the key ingredients, and then balance the dish. Create a framework, get the right portion size, keep it simple, highlight the key ingredients, and the last one is balance the dish. Okay, number 6, ensure that the main ingredient stands out and pay equal attention. Number 6, ensure that the main ingredient stands out and pay equal attention. Number 7, play with colors, shapes, and textures to ensure diners are not overwhelmed. The presentation should never overpower flavor and function. Play with colors, shapes, and textures to ensure diners are not overwhelmed. The presentation should never overpower flavor and function. Number 8, start with drawings and sketches to visualize the plate. Start with drawings and sketches to visualize the plate. Number 9, select one ingredient to focus on and use space to simplify the presentation. Select one ingredient to focus on and use space to simplify the presentation. Number 10, the last number, ensure that there is a right amount of ingredients and the plate complements with the dish, not too big or too small. Do you have questions? Yes, congratulations. You have done a great job. You have done learning outcome number 3. Plate, present, meat dishes. Once again, this is Ma'am Odelind of Infanta National High School, your grade 10 TLE teachers, saying thank you for watching. God bless. Bye!